Hey, welcome into DomTime. Tonight with us, two of our great local pundits, Ken Dunnick, Matt Rooney, both here to talk all the issues that may not make their way into a full show. And one of them, Ken, without a doubt, is the cutting of Tim Tebow by the New England Patriots. Reviewers, Aaron Hernandez, a lot of speculation. They should have known that this guy was involved in a lot of stuff that way outside of bounds. What do you make of this fact? And then immediately, I read some of the local stuff, people chortling over Tebow being cut. What's the guy done that provokes that sort of acrimony?
I think the guy is everything that's right, okay?
About sports, yeah.
About sports. I mean, it's what, I'd love my daughters to date Tim Tebow. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was a champion in football. He had one chance in the NFL with Denver. He took them to the playoffs and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And gave us such a run nationally. Even casual people were watching it.
It's funny that the NFL is a little bit jaded because they're looking for aesthetics, really. They're looking for guys that look good and play good. But I played with a guy by the name of Chuck Fusina with the Philadelphia Stars, who was a Penn State quarterback. Now, Chuck was not the best-looking quarterback. But if you look at his record, all he did in college was win. And, of course, the Philadelphia Stars won 2 championships under Chuck. So if it's about winning, why wouldn't you give Tim Tebow a chance? I just don't get it. Yeah,
and a lot of these NFL guys, I think, are still caught up in, you're not the right size, you're not 6'4", you're not whatever. But the guy can do it.
Yeah, he's proven it to me. Why a team wouldn't take him on as a second or third string quarterback is mystifying to me. There must be more than meets the eye because he's had a shot with 3 or 4 teams here now.
Yeah, and Matt, any sense too, this plays out on a level that goes way beyond football. It is stunning to me what this guy gets as far as support versus people that just go on the attack with him.
Oh, sure, and whether you love him or hate him, and I don't really understand why anybody hates him. I know he has his detractors. Shame on the NFL for not figuring out how to market him. I have to think there's a demographic of people out there who are tired of the Hernandezes, and even though he was cleared, people like Ray Lewis that bring this taint to the game. Someone like him, he could really be a benefit to a city, particularly like Philadelphia.
For talk radio's sake and for Jersey Man Magazine, would there be any better figure to be here in town than Tim Tebow?
It would be great. It would be great for the 2 sports radio talk stations.
Oh yeah. Well, I would talk about it too. He goes beyond that. So, what's coming up here in Jersey? Do you see any hope in this election cycle for either Lonigan, who's the first victim, or Barbara Buono?
Barbara Buono, no. She doesn't really have much to talk about.
Right.
She's ran a very poor campaign.
But there's starting to be a lot of this stuff, too, and I know Ken hasn't been Jersey Man Magazine's written about it. I got to say, I don't blame Christie for this, but it's a big mix, the recovery from the storm. There seem to be huge pockets out there where people are not, and I'm not saying it's all his fault or anything, but I can't give him an A for the storm recovery. Can you?
Right. No, I can't give him an A, and one of my biggest criticisms of the governor has been his snap judgment from day one that the federal government did a great job.
Right.
And now he's beginning to walk that back as time goes on. The other day he was criticizing the Small Business Administration for what a poor job they've done to be able to get some of those funds.
There are big holes out there, people still in trailers, et cetera.
There are, and I think the governor's a good guy. I think he, on the whole, did a good job, but I think he had an emotional reaction. When it initially went down. He was grateful for any help that was brought his way to deal with this immense problem. But I wish he hadn't done that because it set up an unrealistic expectation of how long it was going to take to dig out of this.
And Ken, Jersey Man Magazine, have done stories on Sandy and related things, development, getting back. What's your sense of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the governor has done a lot right. I think in a year we've recovered very well from what was a tremendously difficult situation. And when you think about it, really, what more could he have done? I mean, we've written about it. I don't see, he got a lot of federal money. He did, what he could within the law. So I think he did a good job with this.
And the big issue coming up will be this dune issue, which I'm certainly supportive of, but I don't have property there. And they're saying to these towns, and as a taxpayer, money that goes to you guys in Jersey for the Jersey beaches will make you all in that thing, that the dunes certainly did work in places like Avalon and other places. They work.
Oh, yeah, and you have homeowners fighting it. There's even a Democratic assemblyman from North Jersey, Assemblyman McKeon, who refuses to sign on and allow the easement.
That is a property, right.
Property, right.
I think,
so it's the first time a Democrat in New Jersey has ever been opposed to government intervention.
There you go, exactly right. It is shocking.
There
nice
it is.
shot there, nice way to get that in. October issue, too. We have the August issue, Chip Kelly in there. I wanted to get this in. The October issue, though, I will enjoy reading because you take one of the great success stories here,
Yes.
Wawa,
Yes.
and you focus on the chief guy at Wawa.
Chris Gasons.
What
yeah.
makes them
Yeah.
so successful here in the Delaware Valley?
Wawa is one of the most interesting business stories I've ever come across. They started out as a foundry and then went into textiles. And then the family imported Guernsey cows for their milk, and then had to created a store to sell the milk, which became one of the largest convenience stores in the East Coast. So Abraham Lincoln, by the way, once collected for Wawa, the parent company, when they were in the foundry and diaper business, believe it or not. So one of the great stories, and you can read about it in the October issue of Jersey Man magazine.
And just one of the drivers, the economic drivers between the rolls and every other supply that's there. People just think of them as the corner Wawa neighbor, but this is big business. This is huge for our area.
And their philosophy, it's a very giving, community-based philosophy that they have, and I think that's one of the reasons for their success. I really enjoyed my conversation with Chris, and I think it's going to be a great story.
Looking forward to a great Eagles season. Ken Dunnick, thank you for joining us. And Matt, any final thing? What's coming up with you in New Jersey? Any hidden agenda, anything?
Any hidden agenda? Well, we always have a good hidden agenda, but no, there's a lot going on. We're going to continue to cover the governor's race, the Senate race. We'll be hoping there's a upset and Cory Booker somehow loses.
Well, absolutely. Not that Governor Christie's helping too much. My editorial comment here.
Well, that's exactly right. But Christie's going to continue to be an interesting figure to cover even beyond this year.
Absolutely.
So we'll have plenty to talk about.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. Coming up, my 1 minute of remembrance for Joey Vento. Joey Vento back in the news. I'll tell you all about it here on DomTime. Hey everyone, welcome back to DomTime. Joey Vento in the news again. Joey was a great personal friend of mine, and of course, someone who was a Philadelphia character extraordinaire. What Philadelphia is all about. He ran the world famous Gino Steaks, and he put this sign only 6 by 9 inches in the window about please speaking English here in America that caused an international stir. Well, what's happened today is word comes that a PR agency has advised his son, who's taken over, to get rid of all those signs about speaking English. They have taken one down. They haven't taken the big one down because it was Joey Vento's dying wish to keep it there. We'll see if his son does the right thing, in my view, and the customers, and continues the Vento way. There's nothing wrong with that sign. There never should have been a lawsuit, and we all miss Joey Vento. That's DomTime for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m.